as you continue your wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. I've got more news for you, which you can use to spark up interesting and lively conversation and debate with your family. How about this one? Baby boomers say they'd be happy on a $124,000 a year salary, but millennials say they'd need to earn $500,000 a year to feel content. Fascinating survey reveals. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who to blame. The baby boomers helped raise the millennials. So who's to blame? If you're a baby boomer and you say, I'm happy with 124, I can make things work, and you raised a millennial child who's like, I want $500,000. Well, I'm sorry. It's your fault. But sure, while you sit around the dinner table on this wonderful of holidays, perhaps you would like to bring up that millennials are lazy. Gen Z, I got to tell you, my friends, I like Gen Z. Gen Z is fairly based. Boomers, I like boomers. Boomers gave us a bunch of really awesome stuff. They gave us Star Trek: The Next Generation, along with their Gen Z interns and many other shows in the 90s, plus a lot of this music. Good job, everybody. The 80s are by far the best decade. Everybody knows. Everyone agrees. At least that's what I've been told. But something happened to millennials, and I don't know what, but boy, do millennials feel entitled to everything. They're victimized by everything. And let's just start this one off hot. Yeah, I'm a millennial. Here's the funny thing. People are like, but Tim, you're a millennial, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, you know what's funny? I started working when I was a little kid. My family had a business. I was homeschooled before kindergarten. So I think what may be the issue is that my upbringing is a few years up, which puts me closer to like Gen X in terms of using the internet, the kind of music and stuff that we were following. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe there's something about the stunted development of millennials where they're a lost generation. Entitled, lazy, etc. And no, not every single millennial, but too many of them. Here's the story. Baby boomers are happy with a salary of $124K, while millennials say they need $500,000. About 6 in 10 Americans believe money can buy happiness. It can't. According to the survey from the financial services firm Empower that is based on online responses from 2,034 Americans over a week-long period in August. Median household income in the U.S. is about $74,000 annually. Boomers, millennials, and members of Gen X and Gen Z were asked how much they'd need to earn to be happy. Average, $284,000, which is, in my opinion, rich. If you're making $284,000 a year, you're rich. Now, if you're a married couple making that, you're not rich. But as a single young individual, $284K is rich. But bro, we're talking about something like $22,000 or so per month. Your rent is covered in New York, and you got $18,000 left over. And what are you doing with it? You're going to have nice clothes. You're going to have vacation. You can travel whenever you want. To me, that's rich. I think that's top 5% anyway. They say that was pulled far higher by the $525,000 a year millennials said they needed to be satisfied. Boomers, Gen Z, and Gen Z's desired incomes all sat between 124 and 130. I'm saying, dude, it is millennials. Millennials be busted, yo. Take a look at this. Boomers are like 124K is good. Gen Z is like 128 is good. Gen X is like 130 is good. And millennials are like, I deserve $500,000. This is why they're all communists. They think they're deserving of everything. Holy crap. Yo, what is wrong with millennials? Dude, seriously, look at this. Boomers and Gen Z and Gen X. We got 3 generations that are all comfortable just over 100K. Millennials think they deserve 4 times that. Slightly more than 4 times. I don't know what y'all boomers did. I don't know what happened culturally, but this shows it right here. Men on average want 380K. Women on average want 182. The overall average is 284, but the only reason these are high is because of millennials. What the man? 525 puts you in the 1%. That's crazy, dude. Let me tell you. What would I be happy with? I think if I was making like 120, 130, pretty much good. I tell you my story, man. I worked for Vice, and my salary probably averaged just about 100. It was a little bit less to start and a little bit of a past, in a few months. So probably averaged around there. Yo, I just put the money in the bank. Just let it stack up. I don't know what to do with it. Like healthcare was taken care of. I was paying my rent. To be fair, I was living on my friend's couch because it was cheaper and I wanted to save money. That's my choice. But mostly just let the money pile up. I could eat anywhere I wanted, whenever I wanted, whatever I wanted. Transport was cheap. I was just like, I don't know. So the money starts stacking up. And then eventually I got like 30 grand in the bank and I'm like, I don't have anything to do with it. I spend a lot of my time traveling for the company and they pay the bills for food and for the most part. And so I'm like, whatever. I come home, I can go to the bar with my friends and have food and eat whatever, whenever. Chill days indeed. I then get an offer from another company from, this is the Fusion. And I probably could have gotten way more money from them, but I didn't care. That's the thing. Like when I went to Vice, they said, what do you want if you're going to work here? And I was like, you're asking me what I want? Okay. If you want to hire me, $500,000. They laugh. And I'm like, dude, if you're going to ask me what I want, I'm going to give you a crazy number, but give me something that pays my bills and keeps me fed and allows me to build the things I want. I'll be happy. They started me at $85K. I said, sure, whatever. I don't care. And then within a few months, they bumped me up a little bit past 100. So it probably evened out for the time I was there to around 100 or so. And I probably could have got way more, but I was content with that sum of money. When I went to Fusion, it was a massive sign-on bonus and $250 a year. And that was their offer. I didn't even negotiate. I was like, what do you got? And they write it down and they slide me a piece of paper. I'm like, done. I'm like, so long as I get a budget for these things to do what I want. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. And what did I do? The money just started stacking up. They gave me a sign-on bonus. It was massive. They gave me the $250 a year. And it all just went into my savings account because I was like, I don't care, man. It didn't mean anything. This is the crazy thing. I'm telling you, I talk about millennials all the time for this reason. Here we go. What do we got here? How much wealth would bring you happiness? Well, I can't read it because the way the Daily Mail structures their gallery. I don't know what is this. How am I supposed to? There we go. Okay, I figured it out now. Gen Z, 488K would make them happy. Women, 881. Boomers, 1 million. Boomers are older, so this actually makes sense right now. If you were making 120 a year and you're Gen Z, you'd expect to have around 500,000. And if you're making 124K and you're a boomer, substantially older, you'd expect to have 1 million. This makes sense. You're saving things. Gen X is 1.2 million. They want a little bit more. Millennials is 1.7 million. It's just so crazy to me how millennials are just so entitled and demanding of money. Defining financial happiness. Let's talk about it. Paying bills on time and in full, 67%. Agreed. Makes sense. Being debt-free. Me personally, I am debt-free. In fact, I am quite the opposite. I am debt-holding. Okay. Enjoying everyday small luxuries without worry. Yeah, but you don't need to make a lot of... All right, let's go through this. Being able to afford experience with loved ones, achieving financial freedom, affording big purchases, buying, owning a home. Let's talk about this. Let's play this game. Reaching a certain net worth really doesn't matter to a lot of people. For me, I remember the first time I made $1,000 when I was 18 years old. I remember the first time I looked at my bank and said 1,000. I was like, wow, $1,000. It was crazy. And I was struggling. I was fortunate to, my friend let me crash at his place for a couple of months so I could save money. But eventually it became overwhelming. I needed to pay rent. I needed to buy shoes and clothes, and I was running out of money. It wasn't working out. So I just eventually quit that job and then tried to find another way to live as cheaply as possible. What I did was I took my savings. I'm going to oversimplify this story. I know some people might get mad because there's other people involved, but rented an apartment and then rented out the rooms so that it basically cut the cost of rent way, way down. And then I would play guitar periodically in the subway, and I had very little money, but also had to spend very little money. I was sleeping on the back porch, which was enclosed, of an apartment, having fun. That's it. I'd skate, stay fit, and my food costs were seriously only $5 a day or something like that. And that was it. I needed a couple $100 a month, and I figured it out. I wanted to simplify things. But let's talk about, so in terms of reaching a certain net worth, I remember often looking at my bank and being like, I wonder if it would ever be big. How do you ever get to that number? And now, things are going great. Having nice things, meaningless. I don't know what nice things means. Not having to work for a living, only 22%. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Work is fun. When you're painting a picture or writing a song, you're working. And so people who don't want to work in an office job, what they're really saying is they still want to work. Some people don't, though. Being able to retire matters. I hear that. I don't plan on ever retiring. I don't know what retire means. Having a good work-life balance, also completely meaningless to me. So I'm not denigrating those who desire these things. I'm saying for me, my work is my life. My life is my work. It's fun. Buying and owning a home. All right, let's start here. What do you need to buy a home? Okay, well, you can move to the suburbs and you can find a house that costs 200 grand. In fact, in Chicago, there are houses that go for like 150 in the city proper and in decently good neighborhoods. How do you buy that home? Okay, well, interest rates are pretty high right now, but you could save up $30,000 to do so. How do you save up $30,000? Well, gee, if you're making like $80K a year and you save for several years, it is possible to save up for the down payment. The problem, most of these people make excuses, millennials, as to why they're deserving of certain things. Dude, sacrifice. No, I don't want to. Then don't bother with it. Probably if you're making around 130K a year, within several years, you can easily save up enough to buy and afford a home. Affording big purchases without worry. I don't know what that means, okay? Financial freedom. What does that mean? At 130K, you're pretty good as a single individual. If you're married, yeah, both people are probably going to have to make that much, and that kind of sucks. Being able to afford experience with the loved ones at 130K, you're good, man. Small luxuries at 130K, you're good, man. I mean, it depends. Like in New York, it's harder, but I'm like for most of the country. Being debt free, yeah, at 130K, you're good, man. Unless you got massive student loans that I get. Paying bills on time and in full. Dude, look, here's why people on average say 130K. And I say on average, excluding millennials. Because this covers basically everything. But yo, I'm sorry, millennials are lazy and entitled. It's crazy. But I'm not surprised I'm seeing something like this. Here's a conversation for Thanksgiving. Ask the people, because it's not political. So this is good stuff. And say, how much money do you think you would need to make to be happy? And see what people say. And this is a good conversation. I know money freaks people out, but at least it's not Donald Trump. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up. What is it going to be at 4 p.m. on this channel? And I will see you all then.